Well, Grace Randolph gets wrecked and destroyed by the internet over her insane comment regarding Matt Reeves, the director of the Batman, as well as the upcoming The Batman 2, who she compared his health matter to that which the late Chadwick Boseman had. Now, but Grace Randolph has been making the rounds lately, and I think it's time we have a real no BS conversation about, this whole matter. So here's the deal. Grace Randolph, who's known for her YouTube channel as well as self-proclaimed entertainment, scoops, actually dropped a bombshell about Matt Reeves, or alleged bombshell, the director behind the Batman. And let me tell y'all, Grace Randolph and her take didn't just raise eyebrows; it practically exploded the entire fan base. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is a lot to cover here. So now, Grace Randolph didn't just report on the movie being delayed or even speculated on a script issue. Nah, you see, Grace Randolph took it to a whole new level. They even covering this on thatpopplace.com. She basically claimed that the delay in the Batman Part 2 was because Matt Reeves is going through personal issues, stuff that she even compared to Chadwick Boseman's situation where he had passed away of cancer. Now, that's an absolutely wild thing to throw out there. And coming from Grace Randolph, I mean, it just hits differently when she's actually built a brand around, insider information. I mean, whether it's true or not. So, yeah, here's the thing. Uh, Matt Reeves has said in interviews that he's working through personal stuff. Fair enough. He didn't really go into details about it. Everyone's got their own battles, but the way Grace Randolph dropped the comparison without hard facts, I mean, that's beyond tone deaf. That's a full on cringe moment. And Grace Randolph basically tried to frame it like she was being compassionate and stuff, but instead it kind of felt like she was actually chasing drama or clicks for clicks. I could be wrong. And for someone with her platform, that kind of move isn't just insufferable. I mean, it's just straight up irresponsible. Okay. So here's a 20-minute clip and everything of Grace Randolph talking about the whole matter with Matt Reeves being compared to Chadwick Boseman. So let's go ahead and take a watch and listen.
No, if you knew what Matt Reeves was dealing with, you would just leave them alone, as I'm going to do. I mean, it's not a Chadwick Boseman situation, but it's close. And I hope it doesn't turn into that. You should leave Matt Reeves alone. Let's see. No, and if you knew what Matt Reeves was dealing with, you would.
Yeah, so basically, right there, it's like it seems to me that she could have been doing a bit of backtracking, but I could be wrong. But I mean, this whole thing sparked a massive online meltdown, okay, from fans everywhere. Now, fans weren't just, reacting. You see, they were fuming, okay? Some people were genuinely concerned for, Reeves, while others were going, after Grace Randolph, okay? I mean, I'll pull it back up here on the screen for you all. And they're going after Grace Randolph for being way out of line, and rightly so, because when Grace Randolph crosses that line between reporting and rumor mongering, I mean, basically it turns into a huge fiasco. It actually stops being journalism and becomes a spectacle. And it's like watching a train wreck you can't even look away from, okay? So basically we got people commenting here saying that unrelated, but I had a thought. Do you think film Twitter is pretty much Scientology, but more manipulative and dumb? Well, I'm not sure what they mean by that and stuff, but it's like, some people are defending her in the comments, and somebody here, including Bo DeMayo right here, the former writer of X-Men 97, he says disgusting, but this is her style. She treats creators like comic book characters on a TV show, okay? Now, somebody also stated that I'm not saying this was right, but it did give more clarity on the situation and change my perspective on it. Just hope it all works out. I mean, you're doing it too. Only reason I'm seeing is that it's because you shared it. So basically, you have a mix of between people who are defending Grace Randolph and people who are openly criticizing her. Okay, but I mean, all rumors and stuff aside, I mean, let's be real. It's not the first time that Grace Randolph has actually stirred the pot with scoops that simply end up exploding in her face. You see, the internet remembers. The internet is forever. Now, when you get caught, throwing shade as well as speculation at people going through personal stuff, I mean, you better be ready to go ahead and get destroyed or take the criticisms and stuff by the backlash. Now, the online community itself is not having it anymore. You see, people are simply sick of this tone deaf nonsense here, okay? And look, if Matt Reeves is going through, something tough, then I mean, give the man his space. I mean, but Grace Randolph didn't do that. You see, she dragged his name into the rumor mill without even a second thought, without even trying to go ahead and find out what it actually is. I mean, that's the kind of move that doesn't just age poorly, it ages like milk. And you just can't throw someone's name out there with vague implications and expect everyone to clap like trained seals, okay, and then cheer you on. And the worst part, I mean, let's be real. Grace Randolph tried to make it about compassion, like she was actually being a voice of concern, but it came off as hollow. It came off as someone who wanted to look in the know without actually knowing what's happening. And that's not how trust is built. You see, that's how credibility gets destroyed. You can't just act like you're the moral compass of the fandom and then toss out reckless speculation like it's nothing. But simply put, the only thing that this whole debacle proves is that Grace Randolph is becoming the queen of cringe takes, okay? Now, every time something happens in Hollywood, she rushes to slap her name on it first, okay? Truth be done, but now, thanks to her tone deaf commentary, I mean, she's managed to put a spotlight not on Matt Reeves' creative process or the Batman Part 2, but on herself as well as her insufferable thirst for attention, allegedly. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this is what she's actually doing, but it sure is coming off as that. Now, fans are smarter now. You see, they don't want gossip disguised as concern. They want facts. And what Grace Randolph delivered was a gossip laced nightmare. I mean, it's the kind of fiasco that makes people actually start questioning every single thing that comes out of her mouth that's moving forward. Excuse me. And honestly, rightfully so. Okay. I mean, but this isn't really much of a surprise. I mean, this is all expected from people like Grace Randolph. But here's the simple truth: Matt Reeves doesn't owe any of us an explanation. You see, Grace Randolph overstepped big time. And when you exploit someone's personal issues for, views, clout, or whatever, don't be surprised when the internet explodes in your face, because that's exactly what happened here. And Grace Randolph simply thought that she could just go ahead and spin the story. But instead, she actually got destroyed in the court of public opinion, okay? And that's no surprise right there. But what should have been a conversation about a highly anticipated film became another Grace Randolph controversy. You see, every time Grace Randolph inserts herself into these Hollywood narratives, it's less about information and more about spectacle. And this time, the spectacle blew up in her face, okay, because everybody's reacting to this negatively. But it's time to hold, content creators or influencers like Grace Randolph accountable. Not cancel culture nonsense, just real accountability, okay? Now, when you mess up, you own it. Take accountability. Admit you were wrong. Move on. But instead, we got more deflection, more backtracking, and zero apologies, okay? And that's the nightmare for scenario playing out here, okay? Where someone with, a massive platform just keeps doubling down on the cringe, okay? And that's no surprise right there either, because there's times I got stuff wrong and I own up to it. But Grace Randolph's commentary didn't help Matt Reeves. It didn't help the Batman fans, and it sure as heck didn't help her own reputation. All it did was simply just stir chaos and feed the drama machine. And in the end, that's what this whole fiasco boils down to. Grace Randolph just getting clicks at the expense of basic human decency. Okay. Now, there's also an article coming from the world of real that addresses and refutes these rumors. Okay, about director Matt Reeves' health. You see, these rumors stemmed from a comment made by Grace Randolph, who simply implied that Reeves was facing a situation similar to that of the late Chadwick Boseman, leading to widespread speculation that Matt Reeves might be terminally ill. All right. Now, this article here clarifies that while Matt Reeves is dealing with a serious personal matter, I mean, he's not dying. Now, this author of the article, shout out to them, criticizes Grace Randolph's comments as irresponsible and notes that such speculation has led to unnecessary panic as well as misinformation. They've actually laid that here in detail in this article. Now, industry figures, including Bo DeMayo, as you all have seen, have condemned Grace Randolph's statements, emphasizing the need for respect as well as privacy. Okay, and that's rightfully so. Now, the piece does conclude by urging fans and the media to go ahead and allow Reeves the space to handle his personal matters, okay, without any undue pressure or speculation, okay, especially concerning the delays in the production of the Batman Part 2, okay? But next time you hear a scoop from Grace Randolph, I mean, maybe, just maybe, simply go ahead and just take it with a mountain of salt, because this whole situation, I mean, it's not journalism. It's an example of what happens when tone deaf commentary meets an audience that's finally had enough. Grace Randolph wanted attention, and boy, did she get it, but not the kind of attention that Grace Randolph was hoping for. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button in this video if you or shared in it. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for notifications, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, peace.